walk us through what's working to manage and monitor kids' online reputation?
Well, everything everybody said, which applies almost from every panel to the next, because it all overlaps. But for me, what I've found has worked really well is connecting with not only my kids, but other kids online on the same social media platforms. But there's a trick to it. You can't connect and then act like they're friends. Somebody else said, you're not your kids' friends. You really have to be a silent observer in the background. Because if you get there commenting too much, then they're not going to act the way they would naturally. They'll move to another platform. And to give you a couple of examples, now I know I have to be safe.
A little bit light, bright, and polite.
So I can't give you the exact examples of what my kids have done. So I'll speak vaguely about my own son's high school experience. He's now in college. But imagine how I felt when I went online on Facebook and I saw he had said he did something very inappropriate. It was sexual in nature. And I'm like, I know my son didn't do that. Well, no, I didn't say it like that. I was like hyperventilating. What can I do? He was in start testing at the time. I tried to phone him. I didn't care that we're not supposed to. I'm calling my other son. Do you know your brother's passwords? I'm calling my husband. Freaking out for the first couple of hours. Finally, he calls me back. Mom, what's up? How could you post that? Everybody's going to see it. Now, not only had he posted this slightly sexual in nature thing, people had run with it and commented, congratulations, hope it was fun, da, da, da. So to make matters worse, right? It turns out that he lost a bet. It used to be when he lost bets, we'd go out to dinner and be wearing a Sharpie moustache. But in this case, it was posting something online. And so when I got his password, I deleted it. That was my learning curve. But then I used it as a teaching experience for the future with him. And then we've continued to have a few as time has gone on. For example, the time he ordered pizza, and he decided it would be really funny to call himself Ben Dover. And so then when the receipt came, he posted on Facebook with my address, my full address. You know, so again, I didn't chastise him online. I pulled him aside, and I can't do that. I don't want everybody to know my address.
Boys are the best. Only a guy would do that without peer pressure. He did it on his own?
Of course on his own.
Sorry.
Yeah, so we've got lots of stories like that. So anyway, the other thing that I have that's actually worked to my family's advantage is because I am kind of cool in the way that I interact with my kids online, a lot of their friends have asked to be friends with me too. So what's great about that is I get to see what they're doing as well and use that to teach my own children and on my blog other people. And there was one kid in particular, this was the last senior year where he was going to Princeton and posting a lot of inappropriate things. So first I went to my son and said, maybe you should tell your friend, because somebody else, I think at the end of the bullying panel, somebody said the importance of being responsible for other people too. You have to watch out for other people. I want other people to watch out for my kids. I want my kids to watch out for others and to help. It really takes a village. And so he spoke to this kid, and then I noticed things were still going on with this kid. Eventually, I called him privately, and I spoke to him about it. What happened next? He unfriended me. It wasn't my kid. We're now friends again, but the point is, as parents, we have to be so careful in how we correct them. We don't want to punish them. We really want to be subtle in how we deal with it. So that's the one thing that's working. Passwords. We had a whole panel on passwords. That is so important. Parents, we are so responsible for modeling good behavior in everything we do. If we don't use good passwords, if we don't show good behavior online, imagine, okay, if I'm connected to my kid on Facebook, they can see what I'm doing too, right? So if I'm posting my pictures on vacation while I'm on vacation and letting everybody know, hey, my house is open because I'm not there, I'm showing my kids that they can also do that kind of thing. Checking in at places. Telling everybody where you are, what you're doing at all moments of the day, it's not okay. A lot of adults do that. We have to explain what's not okay and what's okay for our kids too. privacy settings. On my blog, I have a bunch of different articles that will walk you through step by step. Now, the thing to know about privacy settings is, God bless Facebook and all these other social media platforms, as soon as you think you've got it figured out, they change them. So what works is constantly being aware and constantly checking what's going on, revisiting those same things to make sure things haven't changed. Let me see if there's anything else. Apps. This is a hot one for me right now, apps, because I have a lot of friends who are bloggers and they would like me to comment on their articles on, say, Huffington Post. But when I go into Huffington Post to leave a comment, I have to sign in with Facebook. Now, if you take the time to read what they want you to do, they want you to give them permission to post on your behalf. Okay, does everybody understand what that means? That means Facebook can say they're me and they can post. Now, Facebook is still, I'm going to call them reputable enough that you don't have to worry. But there are other apps that are not. And so we're hurting our privacy and other people's privacy when we use some of these apps. And I think a lot of people have gotten immune and perhaps they think, well, everybody's doing it, so it's okay, but that's not. We have to keep educating each other. We have to keep alerting each other to problems. And the last thing I'm going to say that's helpful is when I let an app do things on my behalf, one of the things the app wants to do is perhaps access my contact list, my friends. Now, I'm hurting their privacy in addition to mine. We have to be considerate of the other people as well. So going into a weak link in a chain, we don't want to have a weak link. We want to protect other people, teach other people in an attempt to protect ourselves.
That's very wise. Those are some very good tips. Let's move back down to Tracy, and let's talk about what's not working these